Firstly, I'd like to thank everyone who's been patiently waiting for this video. See, I originally thought that this turbo upgrade would be simple, but it's turned out to be far trickier than anticipated. You see, when you're at the power level of stock turbos, full bolt-ons, making about 400 wheel horsepower with an ethanol mix, you're not really demanding a great deal from the car. My car was happy working with older parts that weren't running 100%. However, when you're trying to make nearly 600 wheel horsepower, everything has to be in perfect working order to accommodate for the increased levels of boost and the higher volume of fuel required. Since installing my Pure Turbos, I've had to replace my stage 2 low pressure fuel pump, my high pressure fuel pump, my engine mounts, battery, boost solenoids and crankcase breather hose. Ken at Wedge Performance has done a great job in diagnosing the problems and sending multiple revisions of my tune to get the car calibrated perfectly. As I said in my previous video, the additional power has transformed the car into a complete beast. Whoa! Flooring the car is so addictive. I literally have to stop myself from flooring the car all the time. The torque that this car has is wonderful. At 60 miles an hour, 5th gear now pulls at the same intensity that 3rd gear used to when the car had stock turbos. The acceleration is relentless and it doesn't seem to tail off at any speed. Now when you add an additional 150 horsepower, traction can be a bit of a problem, and I found myself sideways at high speed on a number of occasions. I recently switched out my rear tyres to Nankang NS2R 120 treadwear, and they've cured the majority of the traction problems. However, 1st gear is still pretty much unusable. Also, with all this additional power on tap, there's a greater demand on the brakes. The brakes will overheat after a few high-speed stops. Our big brake kit is in order, but for now, I'm changing my driving style to be easy on the brakes and switching to more track-focused pads. As I said before, the additional power has transformed this car to near supercar levels of performance. This little 1 Series weighs just over 3,000 pounds, a little bit over, maybe 3,300. But it accelerates as fast as cars over 5 times its value. The spool from the Pure600 turbos is savage. It spools just as fast as stock, but it's brutal all the way to the red line, unlike the stock turbos. Another thing I like about the 135i is that it doesn't look fast. It looks sporty, but it doesn't really look fast. And that really enables me to just enjoy the car without attracting too much attention. Yeah. I'd also like to add that the chassis, this E82 chassis, handles the additional power admirably. Once you're acquainted with the power band, you can carry the same amount of speed through the corners as you can with stock turbos. However, you've got to be careful when accelerating out of the corner, because when this power band comes in, you've got to be holding on. I hope you have found this video entertaining and informative. The next step is to get this car on the dyno and see what power it's really making. Stay tuned for the next installment, and thank you for watching The Speed Addiction.